He needs to get paid.
I'm
Please
distracted.
donate to keep us on the air. That was Catherine Swift speaking over me, and she'll be speaking in a minute because we want to discuss what the President of the United States told to our Prime Minister in the Oval Office, well, it wasn't the Oval Office, but in the White House days ago, saying that really Canada should not have an auto industry, and he wants it all in the States, and that's what the whole deal with tariffs. I hear that. I understand that. I know the Windsor, Detroit area very, very well. I don't know why an engine should go back and forth across the Detroit River 8 times from one country to another. But, I mean, it's going to be a huge disruption. Oshawa is closing down parts of the factory, and it's going to be parts in Windsor. Should we be going hat in hand and say, please, please, please give us these jobs? Or should we be getting new jobs?
Well, the reality of the auto industry in particular is that from a purely economic perspective, we shouldn't be making them in Canada. We have much too small a market. The only reason we have the oddball relationship, like you say, things going across the border numerous times, is because of the Auto Pact from the 1960s, right, where U.S. and Canada politicians kind of divvied up who was making what. And we have, I mean, to be fair, we have shown some expertise in auto parts. Look at Magna. Magna's been a very successful company. But from a pure, like I say, pure economics 100 standpoint, we shouldn't have an auto industry. Australia gave up years ago having an auto industry. They're none the worse for it. They just import their cars. We, the taxpayer, have subsidized our auto sector in Canada forever, and we will continue to keep it in Canada because the basic rules of economics would be such that we would not have that kind of industry in Canada.
Well, so if Trump is successful, we won't have that kind of industry. We'll have Magna in Canada, but GM in Oshawa is going to be under tremendous pressure to move their jobs down to Flint, Michigan, or wherever they go. Windsor is going to be under some tremendous pressure, get them down outside of Detroit. So you're with the Manufacturers Association. Can we replace all those jobs?
Well, yeah, of course we can. We always can if we have the right economic conditions. Our taxes are so high in this country. Look what happened. Look what Ireland did years ago by lowering their No, but I'm serious.
Oh no, it was a huge success.
That was a massive success story. Yep. They lowered their corporate taxes, which of course the left hate because but they attracted the head offices of Apple, and they've got all these huge companies there as a result. So we could, but again,
it's not going to happen overnight, and we need government policy to let industry be industry.
Precisely, but also I don't believe Trump's going to be that. He might be somewhat successful, but we've already got this system set up. He's not going to do it in 4 years because this is, this would require major amounts of things moving, investment in the U.S. and so on and so forth, and that's not long enough for that transition to happen.
Well, I mean, but if it could be gone or happening so far that can't be reversed. In other words, I mean, if we can't make things cheaper to send to the States, and Americans start paying more for it because of tariffs, they're going to say, hey, move all this stuff back to Canada, to the United States.
And once it's moved, I agree with you, it's not coming back.
There we go. 3 minutes. Catherine Swift, thank you. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago, we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act. Once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.